Russian President Vladimir Putin has said that Russia has a sufficient stockpile of cluster bombs. Putin added that Moscow reserves the right to use the cluster bombs if such munitions are deployed against its forces in Ukraine. A few days ago, Ukraine said it had received cluster bombs from the US. The US said that these munitions have been given to compensate for a shell shortage faced by Ukrainian forces. Cluster munitions are banned in 100 nations, but not in the US, Russia, or Ukraine. Ukrainian and Polish officials have said that Wagner mercenary fighters are in Belarus. This comes after the Belarusian Defense Ministry released a video. The video showed Wagner fighters instructing Belarusian soldiers at a military range. Last month, the Wagner Group and Moscow had come to an agreement. They decided that Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin would move to Belarus and, in exchange, Russia will drop mutiny charges. South Korean President Yoon met his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky in Kyiv. Yoon promised to send a bigger batch of military supplies. He has also pledged $150 million in military aid. Yoon's visit comes after he traveled to Lithuania and Poland, where he expressed solidarity with Ukraine. Last year, South Korea sent non-lethal supplies to Ukraine, including body armor and helmets. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida held meetings with Saudi Arabian leaders in the city of Jeddah. On Sunday, Saudi Arabia said it is committed to securing oil supplies for Japan. The two countries agreed to continue cooperation on clean hydrogen and recycled carbon fuels. Saudi Arabia will keep supplying its crude oil to Okinawa's government oil reserves in southern Japan. Tunisia's President Kais Saied and European Commission Chief Ursula von der Leyen have signed a strategic partnership agreement. The deal aims to combat human trafficking. Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte said, and I quote, "It contains agreements on disrupting the business model of people smugglers and human traffickers and strengthening border controls." A shooting attack took place near the Jewish settlement of Tekoa in the occupied West Bank on Sunday. Reports say that 4 Israelis have been wounded in the attack. This comes just days after Israel launched its biggest operation in the occupied West Bank in years. At least 12 Palestinians and 1 Israeli soldier were killed in the operation. Another shooting incident has taken place in the US state of Georgia. Authorities are looking for a man who killed 4 people in a suburban neighborhood in Hampton. Police say that the 40-year-old suspect, Andre Longmore, is believed to be armed and dangerous. Authorities are offering a $10,000 reward for any information leading to the arrest of the suspect. Participants at the Sudan Neighboring Countries Summit have rejected foreign interference in the war-torn country. The summit was held in Egypt's capital, Cairo. It called for immediate talks between the Sudanese army and the Rapid Support Forces paramilitary group. Leaders from countries including Egypt, Ethiopia and South Sudan and the Arab League and the African Union Commission attended the meeting. Iran has resumed hijab patrols by police officials. In the past, police officials specializing in hijab regulations patrolled streets across the country. However, large-scale anti-hijab protests broke out in Iran after the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini last September. The police had ceased hijab patrolling operations, but they have now been reinstated. Over 190 migrants were found in a tractor-trailer in the Gulf of Mexico. Authorities say that these migrants included 5 Indians, 5 Guatemalans, and 19 unaccompanied children and teenagers. All the migrants have been released and sent to the National System for Integral Family Development in Mexico. Meteorologists have warned that Europe is likely to witness more heat. Temperatures are expected to hit record highs across the south. Hot weather alerts have been issued for over a dozen cities. In Greece, the entrance to its famous Acropolis has been closed to protect tourists from the scorching sun. Meanwhile, in Italy, people cooled off in Lake Garda and the sea by the Sicilian city of Palermo. Some visitors said they noticed it was hotter than past years. The country has issued hot weather red alerts for 16 cities. Italy has been experiencing scorching temperatures for several days. In Spain, at least 4,000 people have been evacuated as a forest fire burned out of control on La Palma Island. It started in the early hours of Saturday in a wooded area in the north of the island in the Canaries. The fire has destroyed at least 13 houses and affected more than 4,000 hectares of land. New York's Governor Kathy Hochul has said that some areas of the state have been upgraded from a flood watch to a flood warning. She has warned citizens in vulnerable areas to stay indoors. Parts of the northeastern United States have been inundated with rain over the last week. The U.S. Weather Agency has warned of more incoming rain. In the U.S. state of Pennsylvania, at least 4 people have been swept away and killed by a flash flood. Rescuers have said that they're searching for another 3 people. This includes a 9-month-old boy, his 2-year-old sister, and an adult woman. Scientists are concerned about the impact of rising temperatures in the Florida Keys. The Florida Keys region is home to a vibrant and diverse coral reef tract in the U.S. The extreme heat has triggered coral bleaching. This leads to coral expelling their color, which leaves them pale and vulnerable. Coral reefs create homes for millions of species of marine life and support ocean food webs. Torrential rain has caused flooding, landslides and house collapses across South Korea. The rain death toll has risen to 40, while 9 people are still missing. Heavy rain warnings were issued for multiple provinces. The Korean Weather Agency has predicted up to 250 millimeters of additional rain in some parts of the regions by Tuesday. Meanwhile, multiple civic groups in South Korea rallied in the country's capital, Seoul. They were protesting against Japan's plan to dump radioactive waste into the Pacific Ocean. The Japanese government has been pushing to dump the contaminated wastewater from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant into the ocean. This is the 5th large-scale protest against the ocean discharge plan since May. China's southern provinces are recalling ships to port and suspending parts of ferry and railway services. This is amid warnings of strong winds and heavy rainfall caused by the approaching Typhoon Talim. The Meteorological Observatory of China's Guangdong province has predicted winds and rainfall to hit from Monday to Tuesday. This could bring damage to coastal ports, railway facilities, and even crops. Smoke from raging wildfires has covered the city of Edmonton in western Canada. About 24 million acres have already burned across the country since May. In the city of Quebec, the Canadian military is being deployed to help with emergency evacuations. Canada is on track for its worst ever wildfire season as wildfire emissions hit record highs. On to business news. US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has said she is eager to work with China. She wants to collaborate with China on areas of mutual interest, including debt restructurings for poorer countries. Yellen also added that her visit to Beijing last week has helped strengthen the US-China relationship. According to reports, cryptocurrency exchange Binance has let go of more than 1,000 employees in recent weeks. These layoffs are taking place just days after Binance was hit by a wave of executive exits. US regulators have been aggressively clamping down on the company's alleged illegal activities. The layoffs also come at a time when the crypto industry's future in the US market is uncertain. Moscow has taken control of French yogurt maker Danone's Russian subsidiary. It has also taken over beer company Carlsberg's stake in a local brewer. This is according to a decree signed by Russian President Vladimir Putin. It said that foreign-owned stakes in the companies were being put under the temporary management of the government property agency. America's United Airlines has reached a labor agreement with its pilots' union. Under the new 4-year contract, the pilots will cumulatively get a 35 to 40% increase in pay. The agreement also includes improvements in quality of life, vacations, and other benefits. Tesla has built its first Cybertruck after a delay of 2 years. Elon Musk, the CEO of the electric vehicle maker, first introduced the Cybertruck in 2019. However, since then, the production of the vehicle was repeatedly delayed, citing shortages in components. The debut of the futuristic-looking pickup truck comes ahead of the company's second quarter earnings results. Meanwhile, Elon Musk has said that Twitter's cash flow remains negative. He says this is because of a 50% drop in advertising revenue and a heavy debt load. Earlier in March, Musk said that he expected the company to see positive cash flow in June. However, he now says, and I quote, "July is a bit more promising." A U.S. appeals court has rejected the country's antitrust regulator's request to pause Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard. Earlier, the U.S. Federal Trade Commission asked a judge to pause the deal. This was due to concerns that the purchase would hamper competition in the gaming sector. Meanwhile, Microsoft has signed an agreement to keep the game Call of Duty on Sony's PlayStation console for at least 10 years. This will be even after Microsoft acquires game developer Activision Blizzard. The deal could further ease concerns surrounding the takeover's impact on competition. The FTC was concerned that Microsoft would have the incentive to prevent rivals like Sony having access to Activision's games. The United Nations Security Council will hold its first formal discussion on artificial intelligence this week in New York. The UK's Foreign Secretary James Cleverly will chair the discussion. Britain is expected to call for an international dialogue about the impact of AI on global peace and security. This comes as governments around the world are considering ways to mitigate the dangers of emerging AI technology. The inaugural International Congress of Basic Science opened in Beijing on Sunday. The conference brings together 800 scientists and scholars. They'll hold discussions on research in the fields of mathematics, theoretical physics, theoretical computers, and information science. The meet is scheduled to last for 2 weeks. In sports now, Australia has retained the women's Ashes after beating England by 3 runs in the second one-day match. The win gave Australia an 8-6 lead in the multi-format series, guaranteeing they will return home with the Ashes. With just one more match left to play, England has no chance to take the Ashes. India has picked its women's squad for the Asian Games in China this year. The Board of Control for Cricket in India, or BCCI, chose 20 members for the team, including 5 standby players. The team will be captained by Harmanpreet Kaur. The women's cricket event at the Asian Games 2023 will take place between September 19th and 28th. Argentine football legend Lionel Messi has signed for US soccer club Inter Miami until 2025. Messi is expected to make his debut next Saturday when Miami will host Mexico's Cruz Azul in their league's cup opener. The 7-time Ballon d'Or winner will hold a franchise player spot in the club. A franchise player is an athlete who's considered the best player of the team. Harry Maguire has been removed from the captain's position at Manchester United. Maguire was named captain by former manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer 6 months after he joined Man United in 2019. The centre-back took to his Twitter handle to announce that he has been removed from his position after discussions with the club's current manager Erik ten Hag. Chelsea have completed the signing of Brazilian footballer Angelo Gabriel from Santos. The 18-year-old has signed a long-term contract with the club. However, the terms of the deal are yet to be revealed. According to reports, though, Chelsea paid almost $17 million for Gabriel. In tennis, world number 1 Carloz Alcaraz won his first Wimbledon title after defeating Novak Djokovic in the finals. The 20-year-old Spaniard won a 5-set final to claim the men's singles title. He claimed his first Grand Slam last year after winning the US Open. Novak Djokovic, a 7-time Wimbledon champion, broke down in tears after the defeat. Sheshu Wei and Barbara Strycova secured their second Wimbledon's women's doubles. The Taiwan-Czech duo also emerged victorious together in 2019. This time they defeated third seed Storm Hunter and Elise Mertens to lift the trophy. India's Lakshya Sen was knocked out of the US Open in the men's singles category. He lost to the reigning All-England champion Li Shifeng of China. Sen had defeated the Chinese shuttler to win the Canada Open title last week. India's Avinash Sable has qualified for the Paris Olympics 2024. The achievement comes after he finished 6th in the men's 3,000-meter steeplechase event in the Diamond League meet in Poland. Sable is the first track athlete from India to qualify for the Paris Olympics. Norway's Jakob Ingebrigtsen has set a new European record at the Silesia Diamond League in Poland. The 22-year-old broke his own European 1,500-meter record by 0.81 seconds. Ingebrigtsen is now all set to compete in the upcoming World Athletics Championships in Budapest next month. Moving to entertainment news, in a recent interview, film director Christopher Nolan compared the Manhattan Project to the current race to develop artificial intelligence. The Manhattan Project was an effort made in the Second World War era to develop the first ever nuclear weapon. Nolan said, and I quote, "Oppenheimer is coming at a time when there are a lot of new technologies that people start to worry about the unintended consequences of." He added that the leaders in the field of AI see this moment as their Oppenheimer moment. James Cameron has denied rumors that he'll be making a film or a series on OceanGate's Titan submersible disaster. Cameron said, and I quote, "I don't respond to offensive rumors in the media usually, but I need to now. I am not in talks about an OceanGate film, nor will I ever be." In June this year, the OceanGate submersible tragedy shocked the world. A submersible carrying 5 people to explore the Titanic wreckage lost communication with support vessels and eventually imploded, killing all on board. US President Joe Biden has voiced his support for the ongoing strike by the Writers Guild of America. Biden said that he hopes that the writers would get the fair deal they deserve as soon as possible. Senator Bernie Sanders has also come out in support of Hollywood writers. He said wealthy studio executives would rather see workers lose their housing than pay them what they deserve. Disney has begun production on its latest live-action remake of the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. However, the movie is already facing backlash for being woke. Leaked images of the live-action remake show the titular character being played by a Hispanic woman. The dwarves have been depicted by actors of different races, genders, and heights. A Disney spokesperson claimed that the images were fake. They later clarified that the images are from the production but not official images released by Disney. K-pop band Blackpink's member Jennie Kim recently opened up about the downside of living a K-pop idol's life in South Korea. Jennie Kim joined singer Dua Lipa on her podcast. She revealed that being a K-pop artist has restricted many things in her life which made her scared. The singer added, and I quote, "I want to break more boundaries for people in my culture." The K-pop band BTS member Jungkook recently released his first official solo single, 7. It features American rapper Latto and actor Han So-hee. 7 went straight to #1 with more than 15 million streaming on a daily top song global. Jungkook described 7 to be a summer song that has an addictive melody with a warm sound of acoustic guitar. American socialite Kylie Jenner and her former best friend Jordyn Woods were spotted leaving a restaurant together in Los Angeles. This comes 4 years after they had a public fallout. Jenner and Woods used to be close friends. However, their friendship ended in 2019 when news broke that Kylie's sister Khloe Kardashian's then-boyfriend Tristan Thompson cheated on her with Woods. A month after the news broke, Woods shared her side of the story in a tell-all interview. American socialite Blac Chyna has announced that she has been sober for 10 months. She shared a picture on Instagram with the caption, "Happy 10 months sober, clean eating, working out, staying in the Word, healing my mind, body and soul, my inner light." Blac Chyna has been a stripper in the past. Over the past few months, she has reversed her plastic surgery and focused on religion. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Kyle Richards is celebrating 1 year of being alcohol-free, saying she never felt better. Richards shared the news on Instagram with a selfie captioned, "A number of things led to the decision to put down the bottle." The reality TV star has been making headlines for turbulent relationship with her husband, Mauricio Umansky. Actor and singer Jane Birkin has been found dead in her house in Paris. The actor died at the age of 76. She was called the 1960s wild child and became a beloved figure in France. Birkin was best known for her song Je t'aime moi non plus. She was a vocal supporter of women's and LGBTQ+ rights.